What if I promised you never had to work for the rest of your life? Every 2 weeks, you'd have a steady stream of income. You may ask, what do I need to do in order to receive this money? Well, my friend, you're in luck because you only need a pulse. Let's assume this income would cover your recurring monthly costs, your overhead. Would you end up taking the money? The situation I described here is a form of universal basic income, or UBI. You may have heard this concept before. Accordingly, UBI is often discussed when analyzing speculative job loss from artificial intelligence. In this video, I concisely define UBI for argument's sake, and I explain why it's dumb. Have you ever been overworked just to barely be able to cover rent at the end of the month? It's a crappy feeling, I'll admit. Like many worldwide, many Americans struggle daily to make a living. I gotta scratch. Okay. The stress of this paycheck to paycheck struggle often hits at a limbic survival level. In this case, you're constantly preoccupied with literal survival. In short, living life this way sucks. Accordingly, imagine taking this same pool of Americans and removing their ability to earn money entirely. That's precisely one of artificial intelligence's promises and threats: widespread human displacement in the workforce. This situation raises a moral and economic issue, which is the following. Mass displacement of humans in the workplace can't be ethically achieved without addressing their well-being. Here's where the idea of a UBI steps in. Universal basic income is a government-provided unconditional regular cash payment that covers basic living expenses for all individuals, regardless of employment or financial status. In other words, UBI would give everyone free money regularly with no strings attached. At first, UBI may seem cool or like the right solution, but when scrutinized, I think the concept is dumb. First, is removing people's incentive to earning a living truly a good idea? The concept of never having to work again sounds appealing on its surface. After all, who wouldn't appreciate free money? Yet, beneath that appealing veneer, the idea quickly turns hollow because it fails to recognize the more profound, layered reasons why humans work. Yes, we work for survival, as I've mentioned, but more abstractly and meaningfully, we also work because it gives us agency, meaning, and purpose. When these existential needs are fulfilled, life feels better. Without them, life can quickly become meaningless or even miserable. Unintentionally or not, UBI actively works against these elements. It forces humans to seek their fundamental existential needs elsewhere. Could some people do that successfully? Absolutely. Some humans would redefine their existence and find meaningful avenues outside traditional work. I'd argue the people who match this profile today are serial entrepreneurs who keep working after they've made a boatload of money. But let's be realistic. Not everyone wants or feels equipped for a reality where their existential fulfillment is entirely self-defined, even though I believe every human is capable of such feat. The reality is, for all its imperfections, traditional work provides an accessible, structured, and practical pathway for most people to explore and experience agency, meaning, and purpose. In other words, you don't need to be deeply philosophical to live a fulfilling life. In practical terms, you just need to have work and see tangible returns on your daily efforts.
I just wanted to add a caveat here that I'm a theist and that I do believe that the highest meaning in life is derived from interactions, believing in and having faith in God. However, I want to break this down in a way that's more practical and easier to grasp for the sake of the argument.
UBI would inadvertently remove or significantly diminish the possibility for most humans to experience the most accessible version of this dynamic. Lastly, implementing UBI assumes companies care about worker displacement. Given how eagerly companies pursue AI-driven cost savings, I seriously doubt displacement will be handled ethically. But that's a topic for another day. Accordingly, I explore AI's actual impact on the job market more deeply in a free job report I released not too long ago. Grab the free report by clicking the link in the description box below. Otherwise, if you're curious about the current AI race that's happening right now between China and the United States, I recommend that you go ahead and watch this video. Thanks, and I will catch you on the next one.